It's the Just Enough Heshy show. We're getting technical difficulties because Heshy can't figure out his Instagram, but we are here now. I know we're about a minute or so late, but I want to say hello to everybody and give some shout-outs while Heshy figures things out, including Lenny.
That's
Lenny's
right.
here. Josh Bailey's back after a few weeks' absence, and also Black Beauty's in the house. And yes, the music is on. We've got multiple producers this week. And Heshy's still figuring out his Instagram. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about tonight. And by the way, if you want to call in, 646-974-1580. 646-974-1580. Give us a call because there is a lot to talk about in politics, whether it's local, whether it's statewide, whether it's federal, whether it's worldwide, with everything going on out there. And Heshy, have you finally figured out Instagram?
I don't even hear myself for some reason. Why don't I hear myself? Oh, now I hear myself. Anyways, yes, everybody, welcome to the show. I always have Instagram because I love my Instagram fans. They keep telling me not to post on Instagram because I put it crooked, but I don't really care. I love my Instagram fans, but there is a lot to talk about this week. There's a lot to talk about on a personal level. As you know, Tom, the election is coming on
20
November.
days.
Right.
20 days.
20 days, my friends. 20 days, everybody. Let's get ready to rock and roll. And if you want to come in to volunteer for us, you could email me at justenoughheshy@gmail.com. You could call me on my phone, 718-288-7844, or you could pop into 5318 16th Avenue.
Right next to Cafe?
Caf Cafe.
Whatever, man.
Whatever, who cares?
People like cafe. I say cafe.
Yeah, because it sounds better.
Yes,
but
exactly.
I want to tell you guys something. We had an interesting week. Again, the world goes on, and to all my YouTube and Instagram fans and Facebook fans, and soon the stations that will pop on live in a few minutes, I want you to know it is a struggle every single day. And every single day people tell me, why do you continue? Why do you know, one guy was telling me, why do you keep doing this? And I'm going to tell you quickly. There was an interviewer that interviewed Hillary Clinton. And they said, Hillary, tell us one good thing about Trump. And they said, he constantly never gives up. He keeps on pushing. That's what he does. He just keeps going. He's very persistent. They then went and asked Trump, tell us one good thing about Hillary. And he says, Hillary is constantly pushing, constantly never gives up. She's persistent. They both gave almost the same identical answers, maybe not those words. And that's my point to you. Why don't I give up? Because you can't give up. You can't stop life. So you fail, so you get up, so you don't elect me.
But do you fail? I don't think you fail. It's all in the eye of the beholder. As long as you keep going out there, stay in the game,
and
never give up.
accomplishing, and that's my point. I keep the word out there. I keep screaming. Today I went to a Shaverbrachas to somebody, at a restaurant, and the guy shakes me. Hey, she Tischler, wow, celebrity is not a celebrity. He says, oh, we have so much in common. I watch all your videos. You made me feel so good during COVID. A lot of people told me that.
Yep.
You don't give up. Even when you get arrested, even when you fight for people. That is my point to all of you, and that's what's going to be my quote and joke of the day. And we're going to start the show right now. I think it's another 10 seconds to the Instagram people, and of course I want to introduce my friend and good-looking buddy Tom. Tom, how are you?
I'm doing great. I, by the way, want to give a shout out.
You weren't feeling so well.
I'm still actually not 100%, but I actually want to give a shout out to one of our listeners who is actually sick right now, Anthony Finkel. Anthony's not doing well. He's
Anthony.
He's sick, under the weather, and We hope he feels better because he would call in, but normally he's sick today.
I'm going to pray for you, Anthony. Yes. And welcome, Devorah. Wow, look how she has a beautiful new scarf this week, a different kind of silk scarf. And that's what I want you to do. Every week, I'm going to put it in our budget, which we have no money for. You have to buy a new, different kind of silk scarf. Is that okay? Okay. She's not going to talk into the microphone.
We're almost into scarf weather now because it's going to get cold as this weekend.
It's going to get cold. I'm always cold, by the way. We're going to start our show, and I want to start with a quick joke. You're going to love this joke, Devorah. You know, Tom, you know I volunteer, and we have a soup kitchen, and we deliver boxes.
Boxes.
So I took my 4-year-old granddaughter with me.
Mira
Nava, which we're going to give a shout out for in a minute.
Shout out to Mira Nava.
Yeah, by the way, we have to give a shout.
6:20 a.m., 16:40 a.m., 93.5 FM, WVIP. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in with us, and I hope you enjoyed the show.
Right. And also, don't forget to call into the show.
646-974-15, which I actually gave out the number when you were figuring out Instagram.
Oh, you did?
Yes,
I didn't pay attention. Why don't I pay attention to you, Tom? I love you, Tom. 646-974-1580. Call into the show, right. And, of course, shout out to my beautiful granddaughter, Mira Nava. You love that.
Sergeant Peter. And,
of course, Layla Tamar, who gave me a big hug and kiss today because I was in her building 7:30 in the morning passing inspections, and Yeshua and Ellie. I miss you, Ellie. I don't know where you disappeared to, but I'm giving you a shout out. I hope everything is good with you. Absolutely. I'd like you to call me and find out what's going on with you. Tom, did you give your shout outs?
I just mentioned Anthony Finkel. Want to say hello also to our friend who came on the show a few months ago. I promised to give him a shout out, Mr. Brian Gussman.
I love Brian.
Brian Gussman, yep. Good man.
He's a good man. He better run against Kalmin for that seat. I'm going to help him raise a lot of money. Anyways,
so.
I took my granddaughter. Are you listening to this, Devorah?
I am.
But you sure?
I am.
Wow, I can't believe you're even answering. So I took my granddaughter, Mira Nava, with me on my soup kitchen run. What we do is after we pack the boxes, we have people that do deliveries. And we were one man short, so I had to do delivery, and I had Mira Nava, my granddaughter, with me. Mm-hmm. So what we do is we take the boxes, we take it around, and 1 or 2 people I have to carry it up to as well, and not only leave it by their door. And while I was in the car, Mira Nava showed me that she lost her tooth. She lost her tooth.
Wow.
So I said to Mira, you have to put the tooth in a glass on your table, and the tooth fairy will come and give you money. She says, really? I said, how much is it for every tooth? You're going to get like $1. She was so happy. So we go to this old lady's house, and I carry up the box for her, and Mira comes in, and the lady's so happy. And Mira all of a sudden says, Big H, look. And she points to the counter, and on the counter is the lady's false teeth. And she says, she says, Big H, how much money is she going to get? So
actually, you better be careful that wasn't a voter, an active voter.
No, but she didn't hear. The lady didn't
hear.
Good.
I was going to say, she need every vote in this.
Anyways, here's my quote. And it's an oldie but a goodie.
All right.
You know, people have been calling me, Heshy, can I send my kids to school? Last week, they asked me to get a police car to be sitting in front of a school in Pomegranate. Are the terrorists coming? They're all scared. Let me tell you something. A great quote by one of our great presidents. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. You want to be fearful? You want to walk around your life sitting in your house like COVID and all of that stuff? Be in fear. If you're going to live that way, then you're not going to actually have a life. You need to go out there and not be scared. Of course you have to be vigilant. Of course you have to watch everybody. But you can't be in fear. And I'm going to give you one more quote, a quote that I personally like myself. And the quote is, as I brace myself for the inevitable... that's not the day. That's not...
Is that the joke, Heshy?
That wasn't the
Couldn't
joke.
Figure
That was
out
the
what
quote.
the joke was?
Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. I am myself. I am not scared to tell you who I am. I'm not scared to show myself. I'm not scared to go fight for you. A guy tells me, Heshy, a change. Devorah always tells me I have to change. I have to be better, soften my image. I'm trying. But you know what the problem is? I actually get stuff accomplished. This morning I met an inspector, a supervisor, and he says to me, we love you. We love you. You're always perfect. You know how to do your stuff. We figured you out, and we know your system. And that's the way you got to be. You got to be yourself. You got to identify yourself. I'm not giving you any preaching to anybody. I'm just telling you what I believe, and I'm telling you how important it is that America. And now I know, Tom, you're going to say to me, Heshy, there might be a terrorist attack. We can't stop it. so far so good, and what happened in Israel was terrible. And and with the conspiracy theories that are telling me that they had inside information, a lot of the terrorists, by the way, guys, actually had maps and knew where to go and what. But how did they get the intel on the concert? Because the concert was only set up like a month before, and they really had to be prepared to know how to go. They surrounded the concert. They wore uniforms.
Who do you think built the tents?
You know what? I didn't even think about that. Who built the tents?
Well, that's why Devorah is our expert.
Right, she is. That's why she's our legal advisor. I got it. Very
Gotta
good.
have one, Heshy.
You see? That's right. So you know that we're going to
Better than the
start.
last one you had earlier in the campaign.
I know. I want to ask you a question. You know Ina Vernikova, who's running. Ina Vernikova. She's she's councilwoman of the 48th district, and that's where I ran last time. And Kalmin Yeger screwed me. He was supposed to help me and whatever. And Dov Heikind supports her and kisses her, whatever it is. Here's my question to you. Ina showed up. Everybody knows. I posted in my video. She showed up at an event. Now I had a big fight in my office today because we do lunch on Wednesdays. I buy lunch for my staff. And we were sitting around the table, and everybody says, Heshy, why are you so mean to Ina Vernikova? She brought a gun, and it was concealed. I said, it was not concealed, it was open. But it would have never gone off if it was holstered. I said, and if it would have gone off, and again, the law is the law. They said it was on the street. I said, it was not on the street. It was an enclosed area on the campus. They said it wasn't physically on the campus. Why was she arrested? And we know she'll get away with it. I'm not going to let you get away with it, Ina. You could have caused a lot of trouble. You have her arrested on a felony account. You don't deserve to be councilwoman. Everybody's telling you to resign, but you think you're going to push it under the radar. Well, Heshy Tischler is here not to let you go away. And everybody says, oh, you hate Ina, like you told me.
I never said that. I was actually saying the truth, like you, Heshy, that how is an elected official, right? We've had people like State Senator Marty Golden, who was a police officer, Congressman Michael Grimm, who was an FBI agent. I never saw them, and I obviously worked for both of them. I never saw them out doing what Ina did.
Right.
Ina, what she did.
She was a cowgirl showing, she took off her jacket. She could have worn the jacket, but she had to show her whole body. I don't even know
That's what she does all over the place.
She thinks that being a single little hooker works for her. I don't think that works for her. Okay, she should have wore a jacket. She should have been more professional. Like Lewis. What's her name again?
Farrah Lewis.
Who?
Councilwoman Farrah Lewis,
Lewis,
who you dealt with, who, by the way, ignored you when you were trying to ask questions for.
Right. No, there was Ina and the other one, but Farrah Lewis did take a picture with me. You have to show respect. When you are a representative of the community, you have to act differently. But you know what she didn't? Yesterday, I was on a 400-person Zoom call that you made me go on, Tom.
Yes.
With the police
yes,
about
I was
protection.
forwarded to that from a supporter of ours.
Same stupid questions. All the politicians were saying, and they didn't really do anything. Thank you, police officers, for protecting us. What are you doing sitting in the schools? Can you make sure that the police officers that are sitting there for 8 hours don't look at their phones the whole time? What do you want them to do? Look around the whole time, stand outside in the cold and the hot? Of course they're going to look at their phones. Of course they're going to entertain themselves. You're not going to see a terrorist coming. They're going to try. They're going to pay attention. But you know that they're busy in the car. It's pretty much for a deterrent. What are two cops going to do against 4 or 5 terrorists or somebody with a bomb? Shoot him, hopefully. But that's about it. But try to stop the situation when it gets real bad.
You were there at Brooklyn College. You didn't have a gun.
Right.
You were there.
Right. And again, it's concealed weapon, which means you can't really be walking around with it.
And also,
why does she need a gun? She goes from a house to an office.
I want to say something else on this, Heshy, because Josh Bailey, one of our listeners, alerted me to that. There's this big Palestinian rally in Bay Ridge this Saturday, and could it be because of Ina Vernikova's actions that she's incited now people, the division of this city?
I'd like to see Ina go to that one and scream and holler. Go ahead.
She won't be going to that one. No, she won't be going there.
No, because we didn't come there to push her up together. And you know where she stood? She didn't stand by the Jews. She went for a little bit over there, but she stood in the middle because she's councilwoman. She wanted to stand there to take pictures. Ina, you're there to support one side or the other. Councilwoman was not there to represent the neighborhood and the Palestinians.
It's not even in her district, also.
I know that. I know, and Kalmin too. But still, we went to support, but they let her stand in the middle because she's councilwoman. So, Ina, I don't dislike you.
In the middle of what?
She stood like in the middle between the people, the regular people, and the protesters. And everybody saying to me, "You don't like Ina." That's not true. I don't not like you, Ina. I hate you. Plain and simple. And Kalmin Yeger, he whispered in my ear, and I swear to God, he said this, Heshy, just tell everybody you support me and I swear he told me this. He says, Heshy, tell everybody to vote for me, give up your campaign, and I will support you, but we'll discuss it after the election. I said, Kalmin, everything that comes out of your mouth is a lie. You've done nothing for the community. So guys, I'm just hoping you vote for me.
Did you record that?
Oh, by the way, we tried to record and he made us stop the recording.
And he saw you recording.
Yeah, my son was recording. He didn't know it was my son. By the way, my son ran away to yeshiva.
But you know what, Heshy? I don't think Ina Vernikov's going to have to worry about us anymore. She's going to have to worry about the Democratic machine now. That's going to be going certainly after.
But you know,
we're nowhere near what she's going to worry about.
Kalmin is the chair of the ethics committee, and she was placed on the ethics committee, which I don't know why. My question to you is first she has to recuse herself.
And so does him.
And so does he. You know what I mean? But again, and he was there. He was there. I'm getting a note from Devorah. Talk about, I don't know what that means. But you can say you're on the radio with me. You're allowed to say it.
But you know,
I want to hear about your son running off to yeshiva.
Yeah, my son, 23 years old, he was supposed to go to work and he decided to go back he ran away. He says to me, Pop, I'm leaving. And my brother's taking me to the bus. I said, because I took away his car. And he said, I'm going back to school. I said, but you're 23, you have to get married. No, I'm going back to school. And everybody's telling me how good of a boy he is. And he now went to a higher level, like one of the best schools, the best yeshivas around. But I said, I'm broke. I can't afford it.
Where did he come from? Where was he before?
Oh, he went to Israel to a very good yeshiva in Miri Yeshiva, and then he went to Shor Yoshev. I mean, you're talking, he's one of the top rabbinical students around. And all these girls' parents are calling me to marry him off. The only problem is none of them have money. So right now, if you really want the top guy, somebody's got to pay me for it.
And I want to say hello, by the way, to our friend Yehuda Zelb Silber, all the way from Cleveland, wants to send his regards to you and me. And also just one more thing.
Oh, did I tell you? My other niece, a couple weeks ago, my niece, I forgot her name again, Leah, got engaged. And now her sister, who's 1 year later, is getting engaged. But they always get engaged on a Wednesday night. So I have to go late to the party. Tonight, yeah.
Well, that's going to be a fun party.
Yeah.
But, you know, real quick, I just want to say one more thing on the situation. I don't want to spend too long on it. But give us a call, what you think on it, 646-974-15. But, you know, whether it's Councilwoman Vernikov, Farrah Lewis, obviously from Flatbush and Marine Park, and obviously our opponent, Kalmin Yeger, they go to this rally, but what about the people in their own district? You know, Ina's district has tons of problems. You ran that district. We've been in that district. You know, obviously in the 44th, we hear every day people are fed up and upset. You know, Farrah Lewis and all these incumbents that are running, that they're doing nothing for their constituents.
Zero. They've not opened up one new senior center, one new adult daycare.
How about the train stations throughout the where I see homeless people?
Oh, did I tell you a lady was pushed? A lady was pushed onto the train today. Another guy was stabbed on the train. I mean, it just doesn't end. I mean, she has no protection, and she's not even going after anybody. And by the way, the migrants only get 60 days in the homeless shelter now. Where are they going to go after 60 days? They're going to be sleeping on our streets and in the trains. You're talking 50,000 people are going to be sleeping.
No, I'm actually going to go further than that. They're going to go into our neighborhoods to try to ravish things from us, meaning crime's on the rise. There you go. And then Adams came out because the two Staten Island shelters, and I'm sure Lenny will talk about it, Hungerford and then on Landis Avenue, St. John's Villa, have been closed because of a fire issue. Adams came out today that he wants to reopen them, but also Floyd Bennett Field just got open.
I know that.
So you were at those rallies. And by the way, Lenny, Heshy got to speak at Floyd Bennett Field. That's a place where you got to fight, where you, Lenny, were there at a Curtis Wheeler, Ari Kagan rally, two losers. So Heshy, you were there, though, fighting for Floyd Bennett Field.
I don't know. By the way, Justin Brennan is beating Ari Kagan.
He's going to kick his butt, Justin. Justin Brennan is going to kick Ari Kagan
has gained some support. I don't know why.
Who is supporting him? He's a flip-flopper. How many times has he run for office?
I know.
He's run for office more times than people change their clothes during the week.
But he finally won. At least I want to finally win. That's what I want to do.
Well, stay tuned, November 7th.
But I just want you to know, guys, the migrant situation is going to get bad. And just like Trump said, who do you think is sneaking in here? There are people sneaking in that are terrorists from some of these. And you know what I heard Trump say the other day? When he becomes president, he's going to implement that law that no more people can come from Syria and Iran and all those.
That should be, how about nobody coming in this country illegally? You know, every day, Heshy, I'm speaking to people. Every single day, talking to people about the issues today. And the number one issue right now is people are sick and tired about what's going on here with these migrant shelters. No end in sight. We have a mayor that basically just wants to put more shelters. We have council members like Ina Vernikov, Farrah Lewis, Ari Kagan, Kalmin Yeger, who've done nothing for us, and we should re-elect these people. That's why Justice Brennan's going to kick Ari Kagan's butt, by the way, because Ari Kagan, vote for me. I know the people. But what have you done? You know, Kalmin Yeger, your opponent, another example.
By the way, Ari Kagan, who makes quite a bit of money, lives in a rent-controlled apartment. I know what you're going to say. Well, he's lucky he got it. How did he get a rent-controlled apartment? He doesn't live in this country.
And he's been on government payrolls, I think, since like the first George Bush administration.
It shouldn't be allowed.
Listen, he worked for Scott Stringer. He worked for Mike McMahon when he was congressman. He worked for Mark Traeger. He worked for John Liu. And now we're going to really make him a difference of Justin Brennan? I mean, let's be real. And Lenny, again, that goes on you, Lenny. You were responsible with you and John Tobacco and all those people, Scott Lebedo, for not giving Heshy that opportunity. But you know what? November 7th is coming. November 7th is coming. You come to the office, 5318 16th Avenue, HeshyTischler.com, just enough Heshy.
I could use 100 people. Come on in, guys. Help me stand on corners a whole day.
And I want to give a couple of shout-outs, by the way. My brother is here listening because he's fired up. Sean Bryce, he's listening here.
Sean, I hear so much about you. Your brother tells me how much he loves you, and he says you
the cable bill.
You pay the cable bill?
Well, unfortunately.
Okay, and he tells me every time he orders at nighttime from Wendy's, he's got to do it after 12 o'clock so you don't steal his food.
Well, he might have the Wendy's. That's why. But definitely want to give him a big shout-out. But also want to give a shout-out to Isa Martinez. What do we say to our fellow citizens that are pessimistic about New York politics? We need to encourage them and get excited about the campaigns of good folks like yourself and Diane. And by the way, Isa, I want to give a big shout out to Isa.
You're wonderful.
Actually, big shout out to Isa because it's her and Scott Rendon who have been making phone calls for us. And big shout out to Diane.
I love you, Isa. I met Isa
on the Zoom call last week with Diane.
Not only is she a beautiful girl, she's smart, intelligent. And Isa, thank you for helping me.
They're out there where we just had a great conversation with Scott. We were talking about plans for the campaign. And big shout out to Diane. She had a fundraiser this past week, and obviously we couldn't attend.
By the way, did you see my my video for my camp? Did you see my commercial, my 30-second commercial? Was it good? Did you even see it? No, you didn't.
Will you send today?
I sent it last week.
No, I saw it last week.
Oh yeah, was it good?
Whatever you send is good.
Oh, wow, Devoa, today you
we are live.
We are today. You get a raise.
And also, Issa wants to say Stephen Rendon, which I did mention. In fact, Stephen, before I came, as I was on my way walking here to the office, Stephen wanted to tell us some of the things that the campaign.
But can I make a complaint? Here's a complaint to all of you.
Let's do it.
You have a problem in New York City that we're scared of the terrorists. You have a problem with crime. You have a problem with just dirty streets. You have a problem with parking. We have a problem with taxes. Let me tell you what Kalmin Yeger and Ina Vernikova were busy. They made the sanitation drive up Avenue, and now I didn't get one. I got 50 different pictures. I got 100 calls. You know, sanitation is driving up Avenue and taking down your posters and putting, and I posted it on today's.
I saw that. I was on Avenue yesterday.
Putting my posters off the wall and putting it in his car. Now, everybody else posts illegal posters. Kalmin Yeger, when they do events in New York City, people's schools, concerts, but they don't take it off. Mine, they went piece by piece, and if you look in the back of his trunk, he didn't have anybody else's posters, only mine. Now remember, mine is every block or every 2 blocks, so this guy is going out looking for my posters. Ian and Kalmin, thank you so much for ripping down my posters and wasting the sanitation's time to worry about me. You know
you mean
what?
They can't fix the constituents' problems in their own district?
I don't think Kalmin Yeger is so worried about you.
I know he's not. The point being is I hope he loses and then he'll be worried. I hope you people see me as a dark horse. I'm the underdog. And if you want me to wait till next year, it's not the point. The point is we need me now. We need, I have a guy who I help a lot of people in their buildings, and I do pretty good. One guy came to me a few months ago, as you saw the video. I was helping him with his house, fighting the police, and I told him afterwards, you got to file this, you got to do this. No, Heshy, I know better. I'm going to do it anyways. I said, but if you don't pay attention, they'll come back and they'll get you, and I can't always help you. And I said, you don't pay me anyways, but whatever. No, I'm not spending money. I'm going to do it here. So you're willing to spend $1 million to build your house, but you're not willing to spend to file perms and plans, whatever, and try to comply. Anyways, last night at 11 o'clock at night, I think I sent it to you, Tom.
Yeah,
he sent me a vacate order
Yes,
with a
I
court
did
order
see
that
that
came
this
to his
morning.
house that he must vacate, not partial the house, the entire house. If not, he gets under arrest. He says, Heshy, what should I do? I said, are you crazy? I said, really? You're going to come back to me after you made this situation worse? I don't know what to do. I go call your councilman. Go call your assemblyman. You know better than me. Now, I'm not being mean to him. You're going to say, oh, Heshy, you're being mean to him. I said, I told you so. It's a guy who's very smart. When I speak to my clients, my partner gets angry at me because I don't speak for 10 minutes. I give him a pitch. I pitch him for an hour. I review it with them. I tell them not to make a decision. Come back. I then write it up for them. I tell them by hand. Then I tell them come back, and then we'll decide on the path that we've given you a few different options. Some of these guys know better than me, and then when they walk into me, they already know their thing. So I tell them which route to take as their advisor, but they don't listen. I'm doing this for 30 years. I'm helping community. I'm feeding people. I'm taking in kids.
21 of them you took in
But
before.
pay attention.
21
Pay
of them.
attention, guys. I'm not telling you I'm the smartest or the best. And when there's a fight, somebody called me today, I have a fight in my synagogue. I try to help you out. Anyways.
And I think we have a caller
We're
coming
going
on
to
here.
take a
So
call.
if you
We're
wanna,
going to take
put
a
him
call.
on.
But I just want you to know, Adam's advisor, Tim Pearson, grabbed and shoved a shelter guard. He went to the shelter guard, who was a woman, and he didn't want to identify. He says,
Oh, is that why the mayor says you can't criticize him anymore?
Right.
Don't criticize
So
him?
he grabbed her by the neck and threw her down. Everybody thinks in power they can do whatever they want. It doesn't work like
Kalmin,
that.
Ina, Farah, Ari, Eric, they all
Kalmin can do
do.
whatever they want. It's just.
Well, Ari's going to be out of a job at least in a few weeks. but
well, yeah.
Maybe Kalmin will be too, hopefully.
guy-
And we
this
know
guy-
Ina will be.
This guy, Menashe Shapiro, the mayor's deputy mayor who came over to me at the party. I know you, Heshy. I don't like what you're doing, and you're lucky we're letting you stay here. I hope he loses his job.
Well, you know what? Adams is going to be facing a primary, they say. So
Yeah.
we'll see if Adams even survives being mayor after a year and a half.
Okay,
Stay
we'll
tuned.
see. We'll see. By the way, one more thing. We're going to talk about Israel. Do you know there was a few kibbutzes that were not attacked? Two of them were religious kibbutzes where they keep the gates closed. So the terrorists couldn't come in on Shabbos. And they actually came Shabbos. So they were killed, and none of those kibbutzes were touched. And, of course, one I told you about where a young girl was prepared. She was in charge. But right now, they're saying that the Israelis sent a bomb to blow up a hospital with 500 people in there. Did you hear about that?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
And it's not true. And Israel showed proof on video how the Hamas killed their own people to get world view, and you still have not.
Well, they know that the woke Twitter mob and everybody else out there in the media will do the job for them.
but
They know that.
this one. But lately, I see CNN not going the Palestinian way and going the Israel way.
Well, CNN I think is doing it because they know what
They lost so much,
Ratings.
so much thing. Yeah.
They even had the Trump town hall trying to get ratings. CNN.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
that?
But,
Now, do we have a caller? I think
Let's take a caller. Hello.
We had the motion for it. I know.
Oh, we have the caller. Who's calling?
Oh, hi, this is James in Brooklyn.
How you
Hello,
doing,
James. How are you?
Oh, okay. I tuned in and you were saying about if you want to get a life, you got to get out,
That's right. You know that.
And I'm thinking to myself now, you moved on to Ina Vernikova. She shows up at a place where she feels like she has to wear a gun, and so like you want to get out, but where you go is like someone like Ina Vernikova is wanting to wear a gun.
Right. And if she has one of her attacks,
you feel like you're going to live there or something like that, you know?
I know.
I just think as an elected
the
official,
only way to possibly get a kiss out of a young woman like that is kind of sneak up on her, right?
Well, I mean,
you saw that video. You didn't see that. She was making a video on the street, and somebody snuck up on her.
Day. I was at a train. I was like, I had got off the Q or the B at East 16th Street. And I always like to get off at that station when it's a nice day. You see that the pretty girls walking around, they all seem happy.
Well, I mean, I'm certainly gonna, not comment on that, and I wish you luck with whatever you want to try to. But I will say just one more thing on the whole thing about Ina. As an elected official, you are supposed to show some type of temperance and some type of judgment.
And she knew the cops were watching her, and she knew the cops were.
It all comes down to how we see the world,
Right.
It's like, and we have to it seems as though like maybe in Israel what the Zionists seem to be fighting for is to enforce their particular view of the world. You know, and that makes life hard for them, I guess.
You know what?
They got to enforce everything.
I want to tell you something, and thank you for your call, James.
Yes, thank you for
I
calling.
want you to know,
Definitely give us a call.
everybody's telling me,
646-974-1588.
you know, everybody's telling me, big deal, 1,300 Jews got killed. Big deal, we had 3,000 Americans got killed on 9/11. First of all, Israel only has approximately about between 15 million people. Okay, and my point being to you is that it's not the decision of the 1,300 people killed. First of all, even one being killed by a terrorist attack, being beheaded, kidnapping children, raping them. I mean, don't think for a second 9/11 was any better, because what they did was they burnt those people alive as well by flying a plane in there.
How about
they
the
knew
people
that.
in the buildings that died, right?
Right. So those people really suffered during
I
their
think
thing.
we have another caller.
Okay, but I just want to tell you something about Israel.
Okay.
Israel is not the country that I'm telling you to support or cry
Put the
because
caller
all
on.
the Jews were killed. Israel is Jews that we said, and my father was a Holocaust survivor. Never again. They came after Israel not because of Israel. They came after the Jews. They keep saying we have to wipe out the Jews. If you ever watch the Palestinians, it's our homeland. Not only do we want to live there, we don't want the Jews to live there with us. Why?
And
Why?
I think we want to put the caller on now. So, producer, if you want to put the caller on, tell us who we have online now.
Go ahead. Hello.
Hello, baby.
How are you? Who is this?
It's
Lenny.
Lenny.
What's doing, Lenny? You're calling into the show so early.
Well, I got a lot to say.
We're in trouble.
You said about Israel that the news was out that they hit a hospital, but you didn't finish up.
Right.
When
It was a
Hamas
lie.
finally admitted
No, I
that
did
it was
finish
their
up.
riot, they
Lenny.
said it wasn't a hospital, it was the parking lot, and only 3 people got killed. Am I right or wrong?
Right, and it came out, the Americans verified it, that they did not kill the hospital. And I just want you to know, none of the other countries are doing it. The only problem that I see here is with the Americans want a ceasefire after they're killing 1,300 of the people. And as you can see, Israel has restraint. They're telling the 2 million or 1.1 million people, leave Gaza. Go. Your place is being destroyed. We're giving you time. Where do you ever see in war like Ukraine and Russia? They didn't tell the people to leave. We're going to blow you up. Israel has compassion.
not.
Israel is compassion. 1 minute, Lenny. 1 minute, Lenny. Lenny. I just want to say Israel has compassion. Israel loves the people of all the world. You should see in their country we have the Arabs, we have black people, Spanish people, Filipino people.
I know a lot of basketball players.
Right.
I know from basketball that have actually lived in Israel now.
Right. So my point to you, Lenny, is simple. I don't know. I can't.
People of Palestine $100 million. Doesn't he know what's going on in this country with all the Columbia students and everybody else
Right.
with the protest? And that brings up another point, and then you got your mic back. Where are the people from Borough Park, Crown Heights, and Williamsburg? How come they aren't out there in the thousands protesting? Because it would show a force against the other side.
Well, Lenny, they did do a prayer thing where 1,000 people showed up on 14th Avenue. Was it 14th Avenue or was 14th Avenue?
Yeah, I think it was
A few
14th.
thousand people. They're talking Hasidic, modern people that you
Last
never
week.
see, all sitting on the street, praying and making special prayers. And it was all over television and video how they supported Israel. And I was very proud that they did such a thing, because you never really see them do that. And they came out in the thousands. So it's something that was special that day. But, you know, again, the Palestinian people over here have no idea what Palestine is about. They never fought. They never served. Half of them, I don't even know if they vote at all. You know what I mean? and my thing is I love Israel as a people. And you keep forgetting our people are, yes, my people. I'm a Jew. We have incumbent so much violence through our history, but we've endured. We've suffered 3,000 years, and we've made it this far. I just want you to know that Israel is a place we said, listen, you don't want us anywhere. We're coming here. Now, the other Jews that are in America, we want to be here because we were migrated here before Israel opened up. So our parents and grandparents are here. And America gives you that opportunity. But I love Israel because it is a democratic country. Yes, they have some crazy socialist ideas and they have their, you know what I mean?
Even Netanyahu's had his problems. He right away congratulated Biden after the election.
That's
Don't
right.
forget
That's
that
right.
Too.
So-
Netanyahu is he's had his own problems, on the other
That's
side.
right. So I just want you to know something. We must support Israel because, like, we support when there's a earthquake in Iran. Who do you think goes there and we send stuff there?
How about Japan?
Japan. You're talking. We help China.
Haiti.
We help Haiti. We
Dominican
America
Republic.
help, and Israel sets up tents all over the world, running around, and they don't have to. They're a small country with a tight budget. But here's my point. You know that in Gaza there's underground tunnels. Now you think a tunnel is like a little tunnel where somebody crawls through and escapes. These are massive tunnels that are maybe about 20 or 30 feet high underground, like a whole bunker system that they built. It's like, I hear there's over 100 kilometers of tunnels underground Gaza that runs them around that we don't know where it is, even though the Israelis are finding it out. How'd you build them? Out of concrete and money. Most of the streets in Gaza are dirty streets or broken streets. The world sent concrete for Hamas to fix over the streets.
Okay.
Instead, they stole the money and built tunnels. This is what they do.
Heshy, I want to continue with what I said about Crazy Joe. He gave $100 million. Didn't they have an election?
You got 60
in
seconds, Lenny. I
Palestine
think
and
we have
Hamas was
another
voted
caller.
in?
We want to
Correct
put
me
on,
if I'm
Lenny.
wrong.
You got 60 seconds, Lenny. We have another caller, I think. That's
Well,
the beat signal.
Lenny, you are right that Biden keeps sending messages. Biden wants maybe a ceasefire. I understand. I understand what the deal is. The point is that we have to stop sending money to Hamas. We send it to the people. We send it to organizations, the Red Cross. We send it to other people that will support them. Sending it to a government. I understand you send it to a government.
So this is my question.
I send it to a government.
When crazy.
Thank you, Lenny. Sorry,
I think we have another caller coming on the line.
But when they send it to a government, like a government of England or Haiti and stuff like that, I understand it. Hamas is not a legitimate government, even though they were elected in. They are not people that you see they've committed terrorists. They're on our terrorist list. How do we send them money? They're murderers and killers, and still the world has not come out and said they're murderers and killers.
Well, how about even you brought up Palestine, right? And all these people here that I see up and down in our community here that have got these Palestinian things they're wearing over their head or these flags. They don't realize what's going on out there.
Right.
And what those people are doing. They're cheering for innocent babies being beheaded and murdered,
Yeah.
families. I mean, look at the pictures. I don't even care, Heshy, if you're Jewish or not. As a human being, from a humanitarian person, this is terrible for the world. It's absolutely terrible
Yeah.
that there are people...
We don't care, and that's the problem. And, anyways, we're going to stop
well,
Israel.
so
I
we
know
have
you're
another-
all
do you
excited.
wanna bring the
We're
caller
going to
on?
take another caller, but before we do that, Jim Jordan, who's running for the speaker, lost the second vote.
Well, he might be losing a lot more. Remember, because McCarthy, it took him 15 rounds. And, I just want to say, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, well, this is terrible for Congress. But you know what? I think it's a good thing. And I said it a couple weeks ago because you know what? It showed with that guy Gates, right? One person's voice could make a change.
Well,
One
but
person's
you
voice.
see that one person's voice could make a change, and now that they're pissed about it, they're going to change the law and not let it happen again.
But that's just like, Heshy, when you get into city council, right? And I keep telling you, I know you have people on your team, advisors you brought in, campaign staff that say, yeah, you got to change. No, like I was talking with
Right.
Stephen Rendon before coming in here, you got to be the same person. If you're going to win this race on November 7th, it's because the people know that Heshy Tischler has always been there for his constituents. Right. Heshy Tischler was the guy that fought the hardest during COVID. Heshy Tischler was the guy that stood out there. Nobody was a bigger freedom fighter than Heshy Tischler. Don't change.
I love you.
What Gates
Tom,
did was the right thing, and I'm glad because you know what? These people in Congress do nothing for us. They've done nothing for their constituents, and it's on them because they've failed us all as a whole. So the fact that this guy had a motion to vacate, I wish more congressional members would stand up because it shows one vote, one voice.
I wish the Democrats would open their brains up and don't have to just vote together in a block. It doesn't make sense that you have 210 congressmen that don't have
because,
different
like I
ideas.
said last week on the show, before we bring the caller on, it's both parties. It's the duopoly that has ruined this country. Just like we spoke about Bernikova, right? Just like we speak about Jeffries, all these different people. No, it's the incumbent party. And they're the reasons why that this country, this city, this state is in the way it is.
They just won television times. Letitia James.
Ugh.
She's an attorney general. She's a lawyer.
She was a councilwoman in Crown Heights.
And here's
That's
my point to you, Devorah. This lady is a lawyer prosecuting a case. We don't need her going on national television and telling us what.
All right, so we got the caller. Let's bring
Let's
the caller
go.
on the line.
Hello, caller. Who's calling?
Hello, Tom, Heshy, can you
Hey,
hear me?
Anthony Finkel, how you doing?
Anthony,
man?
how are you feeling, Anthony? I was gonna me and Tom are gonna bring you chicken soup tonight.
from
Yes,
Essence.
I was looking forward to that. I was feeling bad, but listening to you guys really picked up my spirits tonight.
I
I'm
love
glad
you.
to hear that. Yes.
Anthony, did you like
Make
my
a
joke?
comment.
Anthony, did you like my
Not
joke?
about politics tonight.
But
I
Anthony,
actually wanted to go back to your quote about everybody be yourself, everybody else is taken. And I want to tell you, Heshy, that you live by that quote. That kind of being yourself really inspires everybody. I want to go off what Tom was saying. I remember during COVID when you got in trouble for staging the protest, and I remember seeing a video of you walking through Borough Park, and the children were chanting your name, Heshy,
Heshy,
And I remember
Heshy,
thinking,
Heshy.
that is my guy. We need more people like him representing us. And I just want to thank you for that, and I want to say, it shouldn't be just enough, Heshy. We need even more Heshy.
Anthony, you're getting. I wasn't going to put it in, but tonight, not only you're getting noodles, you're getting the matzo ball too. By the way, that reminds me, there's a great deli called Second Avenue Deli.
Yes.
I knew the old owner. You know, they went and they painted a SWAT sticker because they supported Israel. I mean, a SWAT sticker on the door. What's your gain of putting a SWAT sticker to scare us, to tell us that you can do a stupid sign in the middle of the night?
But you know what, Anthony, and it's absolutely horrendous what happened there, and I agree. But it's what I keep telling you all the time. You got an advisor that says, yeah, you're gonna run for the next time, and you're gonna do this and that, and you gotta be now. You gotta be you.
Yeah.
You can't be this guy that's who you aren't. Right. You're gonna get in there. It's because you were always there for us, not because you're trying to be like Mr. Rogers. Not like you're trying to be somebody that you're not. You gotta be you.
I love you. I'm not a faker. The only thing is yes, I am putting on these $55 ties.
Not 56?
No, it's 55.
Oh,
But I think they raised the price because Linda was scared to buy another tie because I've been looking at the price tag and I know she was looking at a $70 tie. I said, no, do not go over budget.
Well, next month the holiday season comes in. You can
Yeah, I
get a
know. I
discount.
guess for my,
Well, speaking of Sean
for my
Price,
60th birthday, which is January 29th, you can buy me a tie. But if you go to the gay outlet store, you can get it cheaper, Linda, and we have extra money for the budget.
Speaking of Sean Price, he was already talking about Christmas lights, right? I'm like, what? Well, today's October 18th. What's going on, Heshy?
I know. Do you know there was the trial of the Trump trial? I'm going to switch a little bit tactics now. In the Trump trial, the judge who gave a gag order to Trump, who is very mean to Trump's people, they actually put this guy on the stand and they said, you lied. You lied. And they start screaming at him and the judge said, everybody calm down, calm down. I understand, Judge. You go against Trump if you think something is wrong. But when the witness lies on the stand and does perjury, you stop the trial. This judge is something wrong with him. We know this trial is a setup.
Of course.
I don't know what to do. I know Trump is going to win the nomination, hands down. We know that. He's way ahead. But again, will we win the election?
I think the way things are going in this country right now.
The Democrats will switch?
I think so because I think people, they elected Biden because they were upset with everything that was going on. But you've seen now that we see the unrest in Israel, Ukraine, the endless war, the economy, nobody's making money. We see people out of work. Inflation continues to go up. Nobody's doing well right now. All those barometers at the end of the day don't say.
Stock market. You have money in the market. You are not making money unless
We
you're one
spoke
of the
about
big
it
guys.
last week. My mutual fund, your 401k,
right. We haven't
horrible.
gained any traction in the last 2 years. And the market goes up and down and it's at its high. The point is we're not making the money. It's all those people there, the black...
Look at the border situation with the migrants. We're an example. There's nothing that says that this president is doing any reason to be reelected. Also want to shout out Marco, by the way. Marco said that because of what you did, like Anthony Finkel said during COVID, that he became a subscriber of this show and he listens. He calls you a man of the action.
Thank you.
And that's
Thank you
that's
so
the
much.
truth. That's why I keep telling you, you can't change. You can't change because of next year.
But there's
because
so much haters out. Every election they always say, like, if Trump gets elected, I'm leaving the country. What did he do? He never left. What's his name again? With the four brothers, the Baldwin. If Trump gets elected, I'm leaving the country. He didn't leave the country.
Nah, because you know what? They're all full of it.
And now today, Cher, which I used to like, now I dump you, Cher. You know more. I don't like her. She's from my time. She's not from your time.
No,
she actually was a singer of my time. Cher vows to exit the United States if former President Trump wins the 2024 election. Cher, you divorced a good man, Sonny Bono.
Sure, he became a congressman, right?
Because you were a hooker sleeping with everything that moved. Then your daughter became a man. You know that? Your only daughter, and you know why? Because you called her a virgin. No, what did they call her? A vagina.
I don't even want to know,
Right,
Heshy.
They called her some stupid
Chastity.
chastity. How do you call a girl chastity? Why would you do that? So of course she's going to be chastity against other men.
So
and
you're
she
telling me that the poster child of wokeness is Cher, basically.
Yeah. I mean, Cher, you were a good actress. You made money. America supported you. And this is how you talk. You have to decide if he's your president, you stay. It doesn't work like that. Oh, you have the option to leave because you're worth a couple of $100 million. I'm not leaving. I have nowhere to run. You have 8 million New Yorkers that have nowhere to run. You have 80,000 migrants that seem to have nowhere to run either. I want to just, but that's some of the things I just want to tell you guys that I'm not complaining about the turmoil, but we have so much turmoil.
It just seems like a high amount. You know, I was speaking with my mother the other day, and we were talking about Brooklyn, for example, and like just even here at home, like in Midwood, Borough Park, Flatbush, Gravesend, our district. It's like I've never seen it like this before, Heshy.
Right.
I mean, I've never seen just the turmoil locally.
I
even
know.
here.
I posted a funny video of a guy in the South. I got a couple of thousand views. Just TikTok, I think, was 4,000, and Instagram was also a few thousand. And the guy gets on there. It's not. I cut it a little bit, but for a minute, and he gets on. He says, "I just want to tell you, you people down there in New York and Chicago with the flags, and if you think you're going to come here to the South to protest," he didn't even stop the conversation. "We're just going to shoot you." Just like that. We're going to shoot you. But then he stopped for a second and said, "We're not going to shoot you with guns. We're going to shoot you with marshmallow guns." You know what I mean? But they don't play around down in the South. They won't let this happen. And you know what bothers me the most? Yesterday when I was on the police conference call, they wouldn't let me talk. Yes. They let some idiots talk, people that have no idea, saying, "Thank you, police officer." And they had one or two people ask good questions. One thing I typed in, I said, very simple. Don't these protesters need to get a permit? Don't they need to warn the cops? So the cops say the reason we know about the protests is because we're watching all the internet. So you see, they do watch. Yep, they watch us. They listen to our calls. They know who to follow. So the police know what's going on with their gossip and their intel. And they said, we can't tell you everything. So if these people have to request for a permit to do these protests on the street. I know when I wanted to make an event, they gave me a permit. It took me a month before to order it, and then they came to me 2 days before and canceled it.
Well, it's like if you want to do a block party in your neighborhood, you have to go through a process. That
a
process
whole
takes
process
months,
and pay a fee.
months.
These guys just send out an internet web. 2,000 people show up. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe the Jews as well, but I think that somebody should call, get a permit. But these guys. But if you notice, the police are already having streets cordoned off.
That was just like when the whole Black Lives Matter thing happened, when you were fighting out there during COVID. And de Blasio said, yeah, it's okay to protest against George Floyd, but everybody else could have to be locked up inside, had to put their mask on. They didn't have to. And by the way, I want to give a shout out to a couple of people in here. Also, Joe D says the world is jealous of the brotherhood the Jews have. This is coming from a guy who went to 12 years of Catholic school. Wow. And I also want to give a shout out to a friend of mine. I'm going to mention his name here on the air live. Joey Sabin. Joey Sabin is actually looking to run against Michael Novikov for the state assembly.
Joey,
so we need a guy like that because Michael Novikov, speaking to people that, I mean, with everything going on, I don't even know where this guy is.
Right.
He's talking about reparations for slavery. Yeah, we should vote for it.
Are you crazy? We have no money. And you're giving reparations. I have no idea. You can't balance the budget. You're $20 billion over $20 billion. You can't do it. You're gonna give reparations from where? I have no money.
And then he said, and then he was quoted saying, well, I would hope that Republicans could get on the committee so we could have a conversation. You hope? You voted for something that you hope that you're going to have nothing. And then he was quoted talking about there was a special election in Queens, in Kew Gardens, and the reporter asked him, well, why should you elect a Republican to the state assembly? And he basically, his answer was, well, maybe we could try and do things. You try? Yeah. You're an assemblyman. You're elected.
You're supposed to be there every day instead of hanging out in town, instead of working.
And the guy donated to Bernie Sanders, his chief of staff's a liberal Democrat from Manhattan. We need a change.
You see, Ina Vernikov, she's one of 8 Republicans on the city council, and she shouldn't have got any committee seats. How did she get on the and she got on the ethics committee, one of the hottest committees out there? I'll tell you why. She slept her way onto the committee. But that's not the point.
Well, I mean, we're going to certainly move off that, Heshy.
I'm sorry, I'm not
going to.
That was a joke. But how does Kalmin Yeger take a Republican, that first-time player, to put her on one of the most powerful committees in the city council when most of the Republicans never get committees?
I'll tell you why that is. It has nothing to do with that. It's because when they had to vote for the speaker, the way the speaker's race works in the city council is that they need the votes from members of parties. So the fact that the Republicans had like 5 or 6 members, those individuals leveraged their vote to get things in return. That's wrong with politics. That's what's wrong. Right. That's why you're going to change is being elected as an independent
I'm going to stand up. I'm going to videotape every conference. I'm going to make sure that you guys know what's going on. I'm going to be very transparent. I'm going to make sure you people know which councilmen are trying to rip you off or con you.
I would say all of them, Heshy, for the most part. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Most of them aren't really doing their job.
They are doing their job.
Maybe a couple of exceptions, but by and large, of the 51, how many are really doing a good job?
Right.
Let's be a few, maybe. I don't know.
They're busy putting legislation and voting, whatever. I don't know what to tell you guys.
And before, one more time, if you want to call and you get your last chance, 646-974-1580. One more time, give us a call if you want to speak. This is your last shot.
Now, I want to ask you one more thing. You understand that New York City has a lot of problems and needs its leaders here.
You think?
Mayor Adams, I know, he needed to go to Israel because the Jews who gave him money, and he went to Israel. I really don't know why.
And Hochul's now in Israel also.
Now, Governor Hochul, what the hell? Your whole state, you have 15 million people here. You are in charge of more people than the entire state of Israel. You're not the head of state. You're not one of the... Who asked you to go to Israel to do... What are you going to do exactly? You're going to go visit the families? Is that what you're going to do? Did you bring them money? Are you going to make their lives better? Do you have an entire state here that you go on vacations? You have your own problems here, and you're now taking a visit to Israel. We don't need you there.
It's
Heshy, there's a lot of concern that what happened in Israel could happen.
Governor Hochul, right. So if she wants to learn, she should call them up to come here and teach us. But what she's doing is she's flying to Israel to meet family members and console people. She's not doing what she's supposed to do, and she's not the smartest.
I'll tell you where she should have been doing her job, and that was to fix bail reform.
Yeah.
That was the simple thing. She didn't do that. So Kathy Hochul can do whatever she wants as far as I'm concerned, but the people of this state, she does nothing for. Just like everybody else.
Do you think there'll be a normal candidate to run against her next time?
I don't know. It's got to be better than Zeldin, because Zeldin was obviously a loser from the beginning.
I don't know.
I know you were big for Zeldin, but he was a loser.
No. I was for Andrew Giuliani.
Yeah, he was a good
He could have won the election. He was a hot screamer. He would have done it.
He had fire. Zeldin
had no fire, but Zeldin was going to give to the Republican Party whatever they wanted.
But just like the Republicans don't want to win. Listen,
right.
they're good at electing Democrats, but they're not good at electing Republicans. You're the biggest example that the party should have took you in.
Right.
They didn't do that, but they're good at electing people like Michael Novikov, donated to Bernie Sanders, one separation.
Alex, correct. What's his name?
It doesn't matter what his name is. Ari Kagan, who's going to be out of a job at least in a couple weeks.
Thank God.
Ina
Thank
Vertikova.
God. Yeah.
All Democrats. Lester Chang lives in Manhattan. I mean,
Right.
did he move in his district yet?
Right.
Did he move into his... Maybe your campaign manager can ask
Lester
that question.
Chang, we were proud that you came and you're a soldier and a man. Instead, he hires some crazy lady who sleeps with everything that moves Sawyer. And
Well-
what does she do? Oh, they're shutting off my
Well,
phone.
speaking while your mic gets cut off, I want to say hello to Superfly.
I'm going to apologize, but Lester, what have you done? What have you done? Dove Hyken, I know from inside sources, is helping you with your legislation.
you know what, though, Lester,
I want you to use your brain. You're supposed to be helping your Asian community. Why are you working with Dove Hyken?
But you know what, Heshy? Lester Chang is going to also be out of a job next year because the voters...
Who's running against him?
I think Jimmy Lee is somebody. Jimmy Lee's
well,
already. He's already got an opponent. And I tell you what, anybody in that district... He's not going to survive next time.
Yeah.
You
You had an opportunity to keep it Republican. You're going to give it back to the Democrats, Lester. I'm disappointed with you, and you're all hiding, because I try to take a picture of them. No, not till you win. It's like a whole political game.
And that's the problem with politics, Heshy. The games that people play. And that's why people are dissatisfied. That's why apathy is what it is, because people know that the people that are in office just smile and shake your hand and say, yeah, I'm going to do something.
And I want you all to know, you see what I've done. I've pitched you. I've told you. You're going to see the day before the election or the election day, they're going to write stuff about me that might even be true, but they're going to blow it up in a way to make me look like a crazy person. You know, like I told you guys.
So tell me, Heshy, how are you going to put more money in my pocket?
Very simple. I'm going to put more money in your pocket. First of all, I'm going to cut the city budget by $4 billion as I walk in there. I'm going to submit my plan to create, to cut the budget right there alone. I'm going to lower that you don't have to pay any more parking tickets or tickets, because we're going to use that to move traffic along so people can park. I'm going to find a way to create more municipal parking.
People aren't going to be driving in the city anymore.
Well, we can't stop that, and we can't allow that.
People can't afford to pay $23.
I know,
it's
it's $23 each time you cross the tolls. This is unacceptable what they're doing us. Anyways, we're going to say goodbye.
And before you do that, Superfly also wants to mention that Heshy, you were down the block from her the other day. So
oh, yeah?
So
Okay,
Superfly
well,
wants to say
I stopped saying hello to everybody. I want to thank all of our listeners from which stations?
6:20 a.m., my favorite, WSNR, also 1640 WJPR, and 93.5 FM WVIP, and thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in. We still have 5 more minutes to go to the show on YouTube and Facebook, but we love you listening in. We love you tuning in. And you're over 60,000 of my listeners. And I'm so proud to represent, and I hope you guys come out for Election Day, and I just lost them. Anyways, again, I will go back to the Israel story right now for a moment.
Yes, let's talk about that for a minute.
I wanted to go to Israel. A lot of people have gone. You know, they're sending people home. I even got a call from this wonderful lady. You're going to love this. From Texas. I have to respond back to her. Matter of fact, I think she has the same name as me. It's real funny. But she's not Jewish. And she wants to take in people from Israel to stay by. I says, no, the people are not coming from Israel. They're not being thrown out of their homes and stuff like that. We take care of our own. I said, but if you want to collect funds like essential, we don't want food in Israel. You can pack boxes. You can call me. I will give you places where to go for donations. You need to be able to send essentials like undergarments, vests, money to these organizations that buy a lot of these protective vests from the United States, because we got a lot of these vests and Israel has to get them to their soldiers. And again, just like over here in America, all of our cops now have vests. I'm very proud of that. This is my point to you. You can do little things. You don't have to give a lot of money. Matter of fact, I'm going to be going out to Jersey next week to speak to some people. And I'm going to ask them to raise money for it. You know, I'm going to ask them to give money for the soldiers, for their vests. But there's so many other things that you can do, and I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud to be a New Yorker. I'm going to continue fighting for you. And I know you keep hearing my message, but my message is not me. My message is you. And again, Israel is not going in there for revenge. Israel is going there to tell the world, never again. And how it happened, I really don't know how this 1,300 murders happened. I mean, we were foolish. So we had to give the jobs to the Palestinians. We want, you know, there's a company that opened up a software company in the Palestinian territory. He did. He mixed Jews and Palestinians. He opened up a company in their a tech company. He's doing very well. When they came into the kibbutzes, they killed his daughter. Now what? You want to make peace with these guys? They killed his daughter, a man who gave jobs and opened a company not in the Israel side, but in the Palestinian side. In the Gaza, to help them and not travel and not have to go through any higher techies. They came and they killed his daughter. I don't know what to do. I have people flying to Israel. I was thinking of going to fly to Israel to see what I could do, but I can do more here for them than me being there, because, you know, I'm not going to be able to run around and shoot them, even though I'd love to have a machine gun.
Actually, you're a peace-loving man.
I am. Even though they call me, they said, oh, I attacked a reporter or whatever. I never hit anybody in all the years. I never want to hit. Yes, I scream and holler. The point is, and you never hear me tell anybody, I'm going to kill you, except for de Blasio. I did say I was going to stick his chicken up my behind.
You know what? Remember, you didn't have a gun like Enid did.
That's right. I had a chicken in my hand, and I called the chicken de Blasio. That's what the whole story is. They are watching you, ladies and gentlemen. They know every move you make. And if a terrorist attack happens here, there's something wrong. They have cameras all over. They have ticket cameras. They have speeding cameras. They have red light night cameras. They have school cameras. Every house had a camera. My mother-in-law today was in her 97th accident. And there's cameras on the whole block filming it. There's no way that we can't see what's going on.
This
So-
thing doesn't stop and prevent it.
What? It doesn't maybe stop prevent it, but it could deter it, and it could slow it down at the time of action. And we can also see when you have a cell who to find more.
Sure.
My point is that there's no reason that people should be that scared. The cameras are out there, but you people should know that your government is watching you. They're listening to you. They're controlling you. And
Just think about it real quick before we go. When everybody was debating the Patriot Act, I remember being in government class and eventually in law, and everybody talked about that. It's 10 times worse.
Yeah.
Since the years of the Patriot Act. You imagine now we're on street corners and you have lights everywhere in this place and that place. It's just
and they could just come in and issue warrants and use any stupid thing and break your amendments. So I keep teaching you guys. Read, it's only a couple of rules in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. There's many other rules and legislation that goes around it. Read the main constitutional and civil rights. Start there. Be ready to fight. Be ready to scream and holler. And we're going to play our music. But before we play our music, you think, producer, you're going to be able to play my my commercial? No? Well, but they can't play my commercial, so I'm going to post my YouTube commercial separately, and you guys will be able to watch my...
And thank you to everybody here.
Thank you for everybody who called into the show. Thank you for all my Instagram fans. Thank you even for the producer. I'm hoping that we didn't get knocked out. Watch when the show is over. We only lost 2 minutes. I hope we didn't lose any sound and stuff. I hope you enjoyed my show. November 7th is coming. Play the music.